Welcome to this week's episode of Lagnapod. Rob Holbert, your host. Y'all join in here and let me know who's here.
Gobble, gobble.
That's lovely, Ashley.
It's Ashley Trice.
The sound effects manager.
Grant McLaughlin.
Scott Johnson.
Gobble, gobble, Kyle Hamrick.
Oh, my God. This is
Tommy
out of
Hicks,
control.
no
All right. We're about to start this thing over. Y'all have lost your minds. Yes, it is Thanksgiving week.
I'm excited. I love Thanksgiving.
Well, it is an exciting.
It is my favorite
fun.
holiday.
It's a lot of people's favorite holidays because it is just, it's based on eating. I mean, what's not to love about Thanksgiving?
Eating, like sitting and becoming one with your couch while you watch football.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, so we always have the Cowboys playing. You know, it's the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm a little disturbed by that one. I don't know. The Chiefs aren't great, but neither are the Cowboys, so they could be bad. We have a poll going currently online about favorite holiday treats, holiday foods. Kyle, you don't have to look it up. You can just tell us what's your favorite. What do you guys like to eat?
Well, I was going to get some numbers.
You want to get some numbers?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I was going to get some numbers.
He was looking at his list.
I like to eat sweet potato casserole.
Of course you do.
I don't think that's on
Sweet
the
tater.
poll, but I like some sweet
Why would
potato.
you not put that
casserole.
on the poll? That's a classic. And green
I
bean.
think
casserole.
I think it's on the. It's on the poll.
This is the question for you. What kind of topping on the sweet potato?
Marshmallows.
Oh.
And I read your column. But it's marshmallows. You got to put some
I
marshmallows
like the
on
marshmallows too.
I like
It's
the
good.
pecan, like the
Yeah.
pralines.
Now, I like some pecans.
I don't
I
hate
like
those
some
either.
pecans.
But pecan
But
plus marshmallow sounds really good
That's
too.
even better.
It
Why not
is.
both?
I mean, why not?
Why both?
Why are
Why
we
not both?
exclusive?
Why not
I mean,
both?
this is.
Why not both? I think so.
Anti-marshmallow.
Well,
Wow.
She's gonna crawl over this table and kill it.
there's a lot to be. You know, there are things. You know, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, there were always things that showed up that I think Jell-O had a lot to do with.
some
The Jell-O
congealed
company.
salad.
There was always lime Jell-O with cheese suspended in it for some reason. There was cheddar cheese in it. What, Tommy? Did you have that happen?
No, I didn't eat that. But what happened at our house, ambrosia.
Yes, ambrosia. Yeah, that also
My
not a
mother was
fave.
a big fan of the ambrosia.
You
Not
know
a fave.
in Greek they call that the food of the gods. That's what they ate on Mount Olympus.
I am aware of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was
Yeah.
not aware of that. Thank you.
but thank you for derailing the conversation.
Well, I was just
anyway.
trying to say, can you imagine Zeus eating Southern style Tommy Hicks's mama's ambrosia?
Yeah, I mean, compared to whatever things that were available in ancient Greece, it may be just been fantastic. I don't know where that was always, we had, anytime something showed up with lime green Jell-O, that was, fortunately, that
Okay.
phased out over the
My
years.
family never made this, but my best friends did growing up, aspic, which is really nasty.
What is that?
It's like this tomato gelatin.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. That's
It's
not,
got delicious vegetables
that's
in it.
gnarly. Yeah. The one thing that always showed up at our house back in the old days when this was considered fancy was a half a pear on some lettuce or something like that with a blob of mayonnaise in the middle of
And
it.
a maraschino
And-
cherry. on
And
top.
well,
Yep.
or in our case, it was usually cheddar cheese sprinkled on top of it.
Cheese
Oh, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
cheddar
Yes.
cheese and maraschino.
It was like just the worst thing I could even imagine.
Who in your family ate that?
My
my
grandmother
mother
made
would-
that
my
on
mother
just
would
like
eat
a
that.
white
I'd eat
once a
them when I was a kid. I haven't had it in 20 plus
That-
years.
my
A
mother would eat
pear
that.
with mayonnaise on it?
I can't listen. You can't.
It was
mayonnaise.
it was mayonnaise at our house.
How are you supposed to bring reason?
Cottage cheese also. My mom liked the cottage cheese to play with the lime Jell-O at times too. That they were friends. They were also friends. She's a wonderful cook. She is a wonderful cook. But these are things that I think back in the probably it started in the 50s. I imagine is what it was. It's probably something that she grew up with. But they, Jell-O was making a big push, man. They were paying people to put recipes in papers and that kind of stuff.
the Waldorf salad. too.
Waldorf salad, yeah. Anyway, it's exciting. We're all going to be very excited about eating, and hopefully, people who are listening to this aren't falling asleep because it will be out on Thursday. But
I think we should.
We're going to put it up early?
I think we should drop it early
better.
because people can listen to this on their way to
on their way to
if
Grandma's
they're
house.
really bored and have no other options.
We're making it happen. Let's move into the news that we're here to talk about. So the big news, one of the big stories this week is finally the end of the District 2 legal fight. So Samantha Ingram is the District 2 councilwoman and appears unless William Carroll appeals. Good Lord, please
is on the table.
But unless he appeals, she won, right?
That's right. That's where we're at.
What did the judge rule?
The judge ruled basically that the state law for qualifying to run for city council supersedes the almighty Zogby Act.
Yes, because it's newer, correct? Newer.
Because it's newer from 2003. It's newer and cooler than the Zogby Act.
The new law supersedes the Zogby Act. I don't calling it cooler. I don't know how you could call it cool.
I think that's up to debate here. But
the Zogby Marietta.
The Zogby Marietta Act.
Poor Beth Lyons never gets any credit.
I know.
She was the co-writer on that thing. But yeah, so that's done. They're basically saying that the residency requirements were met at the state level. That state statute supersedes this. She met the residency requirements, so game over.
That's right. So game over with a question mark.
Yeah, because William Carroll has 14 days to appeal. I don't know. There was a question whether it was the 442.
At some point, certainly at this point, he's got to let it go, right? I mean, certainly at this point, we think he's got to let it go.
You would think, but Scott talked to his attorney Jay Ross, right? And
you had to bring a ringer on this story. I got to cover the last bit of it anyway. But no, so they have a period to appeal it. I think there is a question as to what could happen if it goes up to the Supreme Court. Because, the judge's decision in this case is very narrow. It is only on the election issue because the state is newer.
Right.
What happens if you take it up to the Supreme Court and they expand that by you challenging it? That's how I kind of understand that to be one of the considerations. Could you actually do more damage to the Zogby Act by appealing this? And
I think you've asked some of the people on at the city at the attorneys. They didn't really want to talk about it, but
Beth Marietta Lyons did.
And she didn't really think it was an issue, right?
She thought, which I'm going to go into this more in a
also
story.
An attorney. She's a lawyer.
She's an attorney. She's an attorney, former state rep. I'm going to have a story out on this soon, but she told me, she's not too worried about the future of the integrity of the Zogby Act. She thought that the ruling here was appropriate, and it really strictly only applies to the city council qualifying period here.
Well, I think
she thinks the Zogby Act is safe.
Well, the good thing about it, honestly, is it does provide some clarity at this point. Now we know that this is how it works in Mobile. So there's not this, the city council qualifies in one way, the mayor qualifies in another, so it gets rid of some of that stuff. So the ambiguity is gone with that. So that's good. I think it'll work, and hopefully we will be done with any kind of litigation over this thing.
The other aspects of the Zogby Act, which are pretty unique, is the supermajority vote.
Yeah.
So that being the 5-2, you have to get a 5-2 to get approval in the council.
Yeah. But I don't know if there's anywhere in the state that's codified that says you have to have a different type of vote for the city council, right?
I don't know, and but I could foresee somebody, if a disenfranchised council person who didn't get their thing passed, I could see them. Is this a path forward to challenging that and taking something, up the chain in the courts?
Yeah, maybe so. I'd be surprised if there's anything that's stated that way. And I mean, the Zogby Act is a state law, so there's. But yeah, there's possibilities, I suppose.
But there's newer, shinier ones.
Yes, newer, shinier laws.
Yeah.
And so, well, we will, hopefully it's just going to continue to be done. I think the argument
Hopefully
over
so.
Spending more time on it seems like a big waste of time, in my opinion, and money if we have to have a special election. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk a little bit about Turkey Day football with Tommy Hicks. And we are back with Tommy Hicks. And, Thanksgiving, football, what two things go better than that other than lime green Jell-O and cheddar cheese?
And cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, mix them all in there.
Don't put the mayonnaise in, though.
Put some marshmallows on top.
No.
Bring the whole thing together.
You're doing it for
Mix it in there with some sweet taters and get it all done. Just put it in a blender.
I'm going to bring Asha back with marshmallows.
That'll be good. So, after we've discussed it, everybody, what do we got going on? I know we've got the Iron Bowl this week.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, Iron Bowl is going to obviously dominate everything around this state for sure.
So what's at stake here?
What's at stake?
Obviously, there's a lot more at stake for Alabama than there is for Auburn.
Alabama has the major stake in it, obviously. Southeastern Conference Championship game possibilities if they win.
What has to happen for them to make it in?
If they win, they're in.
If they win, they're in.
They win.
Okay.
So then, and then also staying alive in the college football playoff.
Right.
For Auburn, the deal is spoiling all of that for Alabama, which
is
would
fun.
make them very happy.
Yes.
And you become bowl eligible. They're sitting at 5 wins, so they could actually get a bowl invitation if they win on Saturday.
Probably care a lot more about the first part of that.
First part of that is just
ruination is
pear
more
salad addition to what could happen.
Eat this pear salad.
And it's always. I mean, that game is just.
You never know what's going to
At
happen.
Jordan-Hare, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll come out later. Our staff college picks.
Yes.
Everybody went with Alabama, with the exception of Scott Johnson and Tommy Hicks.
Yes. Okay. You
I'm
two.
going Auburn.
You're standing
there might
together.
be a little Jordan-Hare
You think the magic may happen? Okay. Yeah.
It could.
Okay. Yeah.
It could.
I don't know how it's going to happen.
Nothing to lose. So,
I don't know
Got
how it's
nothing
going
to
to
lose, my
happen. I
friend.
don't know if it's going to be a kick six or a miraculous gravedigger.
Don't speak that heresy in here. Don't put that bad vibes
I will
on the
drop
on
every
the tide.
Alabama slur on.
Is this wishful thinking? I know in Tommy's world it's not, but in your world, as a Georgia fan, is this wishful thinking that you don't want to see Alabama again? Is that it?
Well, I mean, there's probably a little bit of that, but also, I mean, I picked Georgia Tech to beat Georgia, so maybe I'm just kind of
I
Wait,
did
you're
too.
getting a little crazy. Okay.
You never know.
They got a
So
good
What
quarterback.
time is that game? Do you know?
Oh,
It is at 6:30.
Oh, who knows?
I know
It
we
is on
have
ABC.
I know we have a
The
number.
Iron Bowl or Georgia Tech? Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech is Friday at 2:30.
Okay.
At 2:30 on ABC.
Okay. I know we have a number of SEC's got a lot of big games this weekend.
Huge.
What are some of the others you think that have biggest ramifications for the playoffs?
Well, the interesting games are obviously on Friday. Friday, you got 3 really good games. You've got Ole Miss, Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl at 11 a.m.
Okay.
And supposedly the Lane Kiffin announcement will come after the game. I don't think that's going to be.
Why would he not announce I'm staying before the game then?
Because he wants
clearly
them totally focused on beating Mississippi State in the Egg
that
Bowl.
seems like he would be unfocused if you're worried about what your coach is going to say.
I don't think that's his call. I think that was the AD's call. It was the AD who said that he will make his announcement.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean...
That doesn't sound good.
But that doesn't immediately sound like... it sounds like he's going to do it immediately after the game. I don't know that would be
No.
true. I would think it'd probably be like the next day. But the announcement is supposed to come, quote, after the Egg Bowl. Whenever that may be.
I'm an Ole Miss fan by marriage, and so
Yes.
I'm sort of at this point saying, okay, he's probably gone because
He's
it makes no
probably
sense.
gone.
Makes no sense the other way. Anyway,
Well, where's he going?
The leading recipient of his fine coaching
he loves
fortunes
corn dogs, apparently.
is LSU right now. That's who everybody believes it will be. LSU. It's between LSU and Florida.
Anyway,
He's not in the mix anywhere else at all.
Well,
that's
so-
where the plane landed with the family in those
Right,
2 cities.
right.
So I'm thinking he's narrowed it to there.
and so the other big games.
The other big game, Texas A&M at Texas is Friday night.
Yeah.
That'll be a great game. And then, of course, the Georgia Tech game is in between those 2 on Friday. And then on Saturday, you got Clemson at South Carolina. You've got LSU at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. Obviously, Vandy, Tennessee. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yes. Yeah. That could be
and this group went more Vandy than Tennessee.
I'm not picking against Vandy anymore.
I mean, Vandy to win.
Every time you pick against them, they beat somebody. So yeah, no reason to pick
Vandy
against
quarterback. I mean, he's just good, and I feel the same way about the Georgia Tech quarterback. They just have Mavericks.
I don't like that Vanderbilt quarterback though.
Yeah,
he gets on my nerves.
Yeah,
his mom's really pretty.
Didn't they beat?
No,
beat Alabama?
I don't know why everybody's. I mean, for a mom, I guess
they beat Alabama. I don't know. That's why. Anyway, he got on your nerves after that.
Yeah.
He did not beat Alabama this year.
Well, he beat him before.
Yeah.
And then of course we have high school. Big stuff going on in high school. Big stuff.
We have 5 teams playing the semifinals in 4 games. All 4 games, high school football fans, all 4 games are here.
Okay.
So if you want some semifinal action, you can find it.
You want to work off some of that pie and whatever else.
Get yourself out to the stadium.
Get your big old rear end off the couch and get out there and run those stadium steps.
Yeah, good luck with that. We got 2 rematches that everybody really wanted to see, and that is St. Michael playing Jackson. That is at St. Michael. St. Michael is 13-0. Jackson's lost 2 games. But they're the defending state champ. They're going to, St. Michael won at Jackson in the regular season, so that's when they got the home game.
Well, and I would like to remind everyone they won with one of their star players out during that game, right?
Don't believe
who had a star player out.
Crowell?
Had
E.J. Crowell was missing in that game, the running back?
So, yeah.
Well, if he's back, that changes things a lot. He is quite the excellent running back.
Maybe it was I think it was a different game.
I think she's just trying to throw some.
It was the first game. He missed the first game because he was suspended the first game. He missed that one.
Yeah.
Against Saraland. That was the game he missed.
That's what it was.
That's
it was a big game.
He was at the St. Michael game.
Well, it should be a good one. What else we got?
Biger Williamson was the other one that everybody wanted, number 1 versus number 2 at Ladd.
Yeah.
They moved in the game to Ladd to handle the expected crowd.
The overflow overflow capacity.
Williamson, number 1, undefeated. Viger, number 2, only lost 2. Well, they lost 2 games. They lost to Williamson, but they also lost to 7A Baker at the end of the regular season. So, going to be a really good game there. Saraland is at home against Benjamin Russell, which will be a really good game. And then our other game is Bayside Academy in 3A is at home against Southside Selma, which knocked out Cottage Hill, which was number 10 at the time. And Southside knocked out Bayside from the 3rd round last year. So kind of a rematch or a little revenge action.
And then, of course, South's last game this season.
South Alabama's final game of the season. They're on a win streak. And they can finish up with 3 wins in a row at the end of the season if they defeat Texas State. They beat ULM, and they surprised Southern Miss. They jumped out on them really quickly, got a big lead, and held on at the end to get
that's
that
the part
win.
That's surprising these days. Yeah, but that's good. Good finish, a good strong finish for them would be it'd be a nice table setter for next year at least.
It will be, and they've got a lot of really good commitments early. It's holding on to them that's going to be the key. I mean, Brody Jones, the wide receiver, and Noah Moss, the running back at St. Michael, are both committed to South. And linebacker Metzger at Cottage Hill, he's really, really good. And apparently Alabama has started making some phone calls there. But I've been told that he wants to play at home, so that they may be able to hold on to him. But
3 letters, NIL.
NIL has a lot to do with whether SINGN with you. Yeah. So
exactly.
It's going to be a key.
Well, we'll get out of spelling class here. Thanks, Tommy.
All right.
We take a quick break, y'all, and we'll come back and talk a little more. And we are back. Kyle, you had this week the cover story about one of Mobile, Alabama's favorite things, the Stouter boat.
Dun dun. Indeed.
Yeah, you got
these things were born in the Delta They are made of plywood. I had no clue plywood could look that good.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
They are really cool boats. They are. I mean, everybody kind of wants one. You know, you see one and you kind of like, man, I'd like to have a Stouter.
I mean, if somebody out there would like to get me one for Christmas, my favorite color is green.
Yeah, you want a green Stouter.
I'd love a green Stouter. There's one in the paper that's like this beautiful kind of emerald green.
Well, maybe you should cut it out and send it to your parents.
Yeah. And then they'll probably wrap that picture up and give it back to me.
Dear Teresa, I've been good this year.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's going on with Stouters these days? Why are we writing about them?
We are writing about them because it is, of course, it's a Mobile Bay icon. It's a good story. But the guy on the cover, Tom Lammy, plans to bring these bad boys back to Mobile and restart production after 15 years.
Okay, great.
His father and uncles bought the business from old man Stouter himself after Hurricane Frederick. And, he wants to get things back going.
That's cool.
That's it. That's his plan. He's got a great collection of boats. These things are works of art. And they're built for the bay. They're made for these waters.
What does a new Stouter cost? Do we know?
A new Stouter, you can find them on Facebook Marketplace for like tens of thousands of dollars.
I've got that pulled up, actually. There's one.
Yeah.
They're selling them on Facebook?
One for $6,000.
One for $3,000.
Okay.
There's one for $10,000. So anywhere from
quickly getting out of my range.
So
that's pretty affordable for a boat. I mean,
she's on a different side of Facebook than I was.
Engine, I'm assuming, but
Yeah. These folks were trying to take me for some kind of ride, I guess, because her prices are substantially lower than the ones on my Facebook.
Well, you were looking at all the green ones. Those are expensive.
That's fair. Yeah, that'll cost you extra.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, look, there's all kinds of beautiful ones here for $3,000, $4,500, $10,000. There's one for $10,000.
Well, there we go.
I mean, it's beautiful.
They
are really, they're works of art. They're beautiful boats. Well, that's a cool story, and I think everybody would enjoy reading it. So, Scott, we covered something a while back that is sort of blown up on the national level, which is the FBI director Kash Patel's girlfriend and her, the fact that she's had federal agents protecting her as a security detail. That's something you first wrote about a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, it was like a little side story. I was covering the Jonathan Victor case, who was killed in Baldwin County by the sheriff's office. And I was covering that case. It was a wrongful death lawsuit. And there was side talk going on about someone who was there. And I had seen this girl, and I didn't really know who she was at first. Comes out to be Kash Patel's girlfriend.
And why was she there in the first place?
I cannot get an answer on that. She was there for the plaintiff's family, which was the victims. Right. So there was somehow some connection between her and the victim's family. And she was there, and I did see her with a man who was kind of tailing her.
Yeah.
And I asked Sheriff Lowry, Anthony Lowry in Baldwin County, what his thoughts were that the FBI's girlfriend was sitting in with the plaintiff, who was suing the agency. And, he's like, I don't really have much to say about that. But he did go on to question why the spending on a security detail. And he mentioned that specifically. And which is all that to come now. The New York Times has a big expose about how Patel has allegedly assigned all these FBI SWAT. I didn't know FBI had SWAT, but FBI SWAT members to her detail and tailing her around. It's really come to a head. And that's just a strange little connection back to here.
It is very weird, isn't it? I mean, it's just sort of like you're sort of seeing this national story. You're like, hey, I was there when that kind of started. And that's
it was like right in the middle of it. They're like giving this timeline. It was like, and they mentioned September, and I was like, this was early September. Like she was here before she went to this other event.
Yeah. That's a trip, but it's something. We'll see what happens with that as it goes on. Apparently, if you, depending on what you're reading or watching, they say this could be something that causes Patel to be kicked out, but then you read something else that says Trump says, hey, I'm sticking with him. So who knows what will happen? But it is one of those things that's like, maybe is a better way to make sure your girlfriend's okay. And then, Grant, you have a story this week on this somewhat ridiculous fist fight that went on up in Baymanette between Harry Still and a city councilman. And there is a audio tape of it.
Yeah.
And which is sort of seems to cast into doubt both sides' versions of the story a little bit, but also includes some very creative cursing.
Oh, it does indeed. And may I repeat?
I would rather you not repeat all of it. No.
Well, y'all just have to read the story and go find out for yourselves then.
But there's a reference to a classic film.
There's a reference to the Lollipop Guild.
Yes, there's a reference.
And I don't think that they would appreciate the way that they were disparaged in that.
No. It was
the mayor of Munchkin Town might be upset.
Yeah. So I've been getting like a lot of texts and emails about this story since we threw it up. And something that I would like to emphasize is just how quickly it escalated.
The fight?
In the same amount of time that it takes you to read to the part where the fight begins in the story is probably how long they had been talking about just city politics.
So basically, they got in an argument about the new mayor coming in and saying that because the new mayor had been, advocating about the shooting of, what's his name?
Yes, of Otis
French. And he was alleging basically that some of the cops are going to leave and that kind of thing, right?
That's right, yeah.
And that blew it up with the city councilman. What was the city councilman's name? I can't remember.
Matthew Franklin.
Yeah, so it blew up with Franklin. He got upset about that.
Yeah, almost as soon as Harry references the Lollipop Guild, Matthew tells him to leave.
Perhaps Franklin is a fan of the Wizard of Oz, and was offended by the juxtaposition of profanity with the beloved Lollipop Guild.
I think, honestly, my favorite part of this was, and I'm really glad it turned out to be true, was with Harry was restraining Matthew Franklin outside of his own office. And he said, "Say uncle," like 3 times. And I was
that is something you don't hear very often.
Harry, who claims to have been the one who was assaulted, I don't know if that's doing him
Harry's
any good.
Certainly, at least in his 50s. I don't know how old Mr. Franklin is.
He looks to be around the same age.
So you've got 2 mature gentlemen rolling around on the ground, somebody yelling, "Say uncle," the other one saying, "I'm going to kill your dog."
Yes, and then he says, "I'm gonna kill you." I mean, he says it just like that,
Anyway, it is it's a nice listen. You can enjoy that, folks. It's there's definitely some. Make sure the kids aren't around, especially kids who love the Wizard of Oz.
It's so nice to see some crazy stuff happening across the bay. You know what I mean? I guess.
Yeah, it never happens. Never happens over there, right? Well, that's all we've got for this week, folks. I hope everybody has a very happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you all next week. Thanks.
The Lagnapod is a Something Extra publishing production. Executive producers are Rob Holbert and Ashley Trice. Music is by Some Pulse Sounds and Electro Animals. Only subscribers like you have access to this podcast. Tell your friends they can sign up at my.wingappmobile.com. For advertising opportunities, please call 251-450-4466.